Namaskar. This Wednesday, the Panchama Veda that we will read from, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna by Swami Nikhilanandaji, the translation, page 822. The Sri Ramakrishna is a solace to the suffering souls. The Sri Ramakrishna is the embodiment of that Brahman. And the Brahman, we know everything is Brahman. So always they say one is Brahman without any quality and without any form. And second Brahman, it says with qualities and with form. That there are nirguna, gunamaya. That sometimes when we sing in our evening prayer, Swami Vivekananda composed that Khandana Bhava Bandhana. So there we find Nirguna Gunamaya. Khandana Bhava Bandhana Jagabandhana Bonditumaya. Niranjana Nara Rupadhara Nirguna Gunamaya. That Niranjan, the one who is all pervading, not having any strain in that, and he is nirguna, without any qualities, without any epithet, and gunamaya. Again, he is same, is having everything. Sattva guna, sattva, raja, tama, all these three gunas are there. This is everything. And that when the Brahman, when he comes as an avatara, then sometimes it is very difficult when we are reading the Upanishad, particularly Katha Upanishad, we find that the king Yama is finding a great difficulty to explain the Brahman, the Atma, how they will explain, because it is beyond time, space and causation. You cannot express through any word, it is a feeling. You just realize it, that consciousness all pervading. So obviously it is very difficult to explain about the Brahman. So what they do, they always say by understanding the three qualities that every beings are having. What are the three qualities? That no one wants to die. Second, everyone wants to know. And third, everyone wants to be happy. The Sat, Chit, Ananda. So they, because the cause and effect, the effect is we don't like to die, we like to know, we like to be happy. Where from these qualities came? Of course from the source. And so they say Brahman is Sat, Chit, Ananda, Swarupa. He is the source of the eternity. He'll never change anything. Sat. Chit, that knowledge. And also the Ananda. The Hladini Shakti, in the Tantra they will say, and also in the that Vaishnava, that they also say, the God is having Hladini Shakti. He is performing through different Shakti, and one is Hladini. Hlada means Ananda, the joy, the bliss. And anything that we do, we like to eat, we like to visit our friends, we like to do this, we like to do that, everything for Ananda. We never ever anyone will do to get the suffering. Suffering comes because of the wrongdoings, but we never want that. No one wants to suffer. So why? Because the cause from where we are, effect that it has come, we have been made, is the source of Ananda. The Sri Ramakrishna is that Brahman who is living in the hearts of everyone, and that consciousness has taken the human form in different times, in different situation, and recently he has taken the form of Sri Ramakrishna. This Sri Ramakrishna is nothing but love, and that love is not a selfish love. It is all pervading, all encompassing. That love is unselfishness. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, the God means unselfishness. Unselfishness is God, he said. So this unselfishness, when we notice that unselfishness, then what happens to that? That is the effect. Unselfishness. We can see a person very unselfish. He is loving everyone. That's the effect. But the source is from that God, from that Supreme Being, the Brahman with qualities. And now we find that Brahman, that Avatara, the Sri Ramakrishna, he is going to visit a lady, a Brahmin lady, a lady of high caste, who has lost her only daughter. So this she has invited Sri Ramakrishna. She is expecting that Sri Ramakrishna will visit, but Sri Ramakrishna at that moment, he was in the Nanda Bosch house. Nanda Bosch, an aristocrat and very rich person, and they were arranging everything in a nice way. But devotion was little less because they were not knowing who is Sri Ramakrishna. So this is the difference. Sri Ramakrishna is going to everyone. But this lady, she is eager to receive Sri Ramakrishna at her residence. Nanda Bosch, of course, he was also having the good company of Sri Ramakrishna, a little faith, little doubt, and this, as we have already read about this Nanda Bosch, all the conversations we could understand, he was not accepting Sri Ramakrishna as the God himself, but this lady does. So there is the difference. We will be going along with Sri Ramakrishna to visit this lady's house. It was a very humble house. Master Masha will be giving all the description. So Ananda Bosch, when Sri Ramakrishna told that you are a great person, that you have money, you have the acceptance in the society, but at the same time you have devotion and faith in God, that's a great thing. He was encouraging him. And he said, all men have the same power. As also we know that another person, he was a very highly educated and he was a respected person in the then society, the Vidyasagar Mahasaya, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Vidyasagar was his, because he was a great scholar, so that was his title, Vidyasagar. But his name was Ishwar Chandra. Now this Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar and also this Nanda Bosch, they all like to show that, oh, we are not. They like to show the humbleness. They say everybody is same. But Sri Ramakrishna is very categorically, he is mentioning that why then people will accept you? That means Sri Ramakrishna want to say that God's power is manifesting through you. Sri Ramakrishna was not just praising him for money or anything, nothing. Sri Ramakrishna was telling the truth. The God is manifesting through you, and that is why people are coming to you. Anyone becoming famous in whatever field it may be science, maybe music, maybe whatever. But that manifestation of power is nothing but the manifestation of power of God. If that particular person can remember it, he will be humble. And when he is humble, he will get the spiritual benefit. If he doesn't, maybe he is showing up, no, you need not to praise me and all that. Externally, he may be showing like that, but internally he is not. So he is not getting the benefit of the spirituality. Same work, only understanding and keeping the mind in that same tune. I am not doing anything. People are praising because the manifestation of power through me, the God's power manifesting through me. I am a great scholar, God's power. I am a great speaker, God's power. Great singer, great leader, God's power. Only this attitude can take that person to God. So that is exactly what Sri Ramakrishna is teaching us. Now the master arrived at the house of the Brahmin lady who was grief-stricken on account of her daughter's death. It was an old brick house. See how Master Mahasaya is giving the description. And he will describe in such a nice way that we can visualize the whole thing. Then from that, the beautiful house of the Jamindar, of the landlord, now the Sri Ramakrishna is visiting a house which is very humble, almost in the same locality in North Calcutta. It was an old brick house. Entering the house, the master passed the cow shed on his left. He and the devotees went to the roof, where they took seats. People were standing there in row. Others were seated. They were all eager to get a glimpse of Sri Ramakrishna. The Brahmani had a sister. Both of them were widows. Their brothers also lived in the house with their families. The Brahmani had been busy all day making arrangements to receive Sri Ramakrishna. While the master was at Nanda Bo's house, she had been extremely restless, going out of the house every few minutes to see if he was coming. He had promised to come to her place from Nanda's. Because of his delay, she had thought perhaps he would not come at all. So that is the eagerness of a devotee to receive the God. So that differs everything. When a devotee is eager to see God, eager to receive God, talk to God, and that is a complete different thing. But the Nanda Bosh and other houses the Sri Ramakrishna was visiting, they were not that way eager. But here is the difference. They were rich, but these people are poor. But they have a great devotion, and God loves devotion. It's not the wealth, the worldly wealth, that attracts God. It is not the cleanliness and all these things, jewelries, but the love for God. So Master Mahasaya understood this, and he is giving us the complete picture, is drawing in such a way, writing in such a way. So when we read, mentally we are reaching over there, comparing these two. Sri Ramakrishna is visiting both the houses. Friends, why I am telling this? This is because God only sees the mind. So obviously, the mind should be completely devoted to God. Oh God, when you are coming to me. And when we think in that way, we become restless. And that is shown over here with that lady. She lost her daughter and she wanted to have the Thakur visit her house, and the God is visiting her house. And he kept the promise. But she was thinking, if he doesn't come, so constantly she was going in and out. Sri Ramakrishna was seated on a carpet. M means Master Mahasaya, Narayan, Yogin, Devendra, and others were seated on a mat. A few minutes later, the young Naren and some other devotee arrived. The Brahmani's sister came to the master and saluted him. She said, "Sister," that means her elder sister, has just gone to Nanda Bo's house to inquire the reason for your delay in coming here. That means she went through some other way. Then in North Calcutta, if you go, the Bagbajar area is in North Calcutta. There are many shortcuts are there. So those people, the local people, they knew that they will be taking the small ways and they will go over there. But Ramakrishna was coming from the main road, so they couldn't meet. She went to see, and Sri Ramakrishna, by the time he reached over here, she will return presently. The other sister is giving the report. A sound was heard downstairs, and she exclaimed, "There she comes." She went down, but it was not the Brahmani. The Master Moshe, when we are reading this, look at it, every details he is reporting, every details, so that we can visit along with Sri Ramakrishna. The Master Moshe and others, the Narendra and all others, is not our Swami Vivekananda, is another Naren. All they were present, but the way Master Moshe has recorded and presented it to us, we also can visit that place and be in the company of Sri Ramakrishna. And something happened, some sound was there, immediately she, oh, maybe my sister has come back, but when they went over there, it was not they, it was somebody else. The Sri Ramakrishna sat there smiling, surrounded by devotees. He was happy. So he didn't say anything, but his smiling face showed that he loved that eagerness. So that is why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said that he gave that example, and he is from the village, so obviously whatever the example that he gave is from the villages. The people will be feeding the cows the hays and the grasses, but he said if you are using some molasses and put that mixture, the grasses with the molasses, if you make a mixture and give it to the cow eats it happily. The cow likes that molasses taste. The molasses that taste the cow, so naturally he will eat it more. Similarly, whatever you are doing for God, if you do it with love, he says, it will be like you are using the molasses on the dry grasses. So that means the love for God is so important. Sri Ramakrishna sat there smiling, surrounded by devotees. Master M to Devendra, to another. So they were just talking. What a grand sight! All these people, young and old, men and women, standing in lines, eager to have a glimpse of him and hear his words. The Master Moshe also, as because he was having the Sattva Guna, so he could understand the things. Most of the people, they don't understand why this, why that. The Sri Ramakrishna's company he was having, Master Moshe, the Mahendranath Gupta. But when you read this type of comments, we can understand that he developed the Sattva Guna. In the Bhagavata we find the one who is having these qualities is having this Sattva Guna. The Master Moshe could understand things very clearly, and he was understanding what is happening, so he was very happy also. He said that. Devendra then passed that to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. He said, M says that this place is better than Nanda's. The devotion of these people is amazing. Master Moshe said something, and when Devendra is reporting that to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, did you notice how he is representing? He immediately understood that Master Moshe is liking these people, so he said it is better than the Nandas. Why? Because they were also there present in the Nanda's house. The Nandas were just curious to see. So this is the difference. In the Bhagavad Gita it mentioned that the 4 type of people, they call on God, they pray to God, And Artha Jigyashu Artharthi Jnani. The Artha, we know that those who are afflicted, they also pray to God. The Artharthi, they want something, so obviously they are also praying to God. Jigyasu is a curious person, so he goes to God. I received so many letters from different people, and they are explaining some of the words of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna in their own way, and they want to know the explanation, etc. They are curious people. That's good. But those who love God, they like to realize God, they like to have the company of God. That is completely different. So that is the difference. Here, these people, they are simple people, but very eager to get the glimpse of God and to listen to Him. So obviously, the environment has completely changed. The Sri Ramakrishna is sitting over there, and these things are happening. Devotees are also commenting in their own way. After listening to Devendra, who says, Aim says that this place is better than Nanda's, Sri Ramakrishna laughed. Previously he was smiling, now he laughed because he appreciated this analysis. Sri Ramakrishna laughed. The Brahmani sister explained, Here comes sister. The Brahmani came and saluted the master. She was beside herself with joy. She did not know what to say. In a half-choked voice she said, This joy is too much for me. Perhaps I shall die of it. Tell me, friends, how shall I be able to live? I did not feel such a thrill even when Chandi, my daughter, used to visit the house accompanied by livered footmen with armed guards lining both sides of the street. Her daughter was married to a very rich person. So in those days, as because the British, the rulers were there at the time of Sri Ramakrishna, the Britishers were ruling India, but the jamindars or the landlords or the rich people, they were having their own bodyguards, and the dressed the servants, that livered footmen, they used to also accompany these people. That lady who was married to a rich man's house, when she used to visit her mother, the very humble lady, she used to come because the jamindar's daughter-in-law, so she used to come along with this type of people. The servants with the proper dresses and also the armed guards. So obviously the local people used to wonder, and mother used to feel proud, my daughter is coming like a queen, to all this. And she is telling that is also nothing. When my daughter is to come to me with all this, of course I used to be happy, but when Sri Ramakrishna has come, is a completely different type of joy. So that's why she mentioned like that. My daughter used to visit the house accompanied by livered footmen with armed guards lining both sides of the street. Oh, now I have no trace of my grief at her of her death. Now I have no trace of my grief at her death. Now that young daughter passed away, and naturally we can understand the widowed mother, the only daughter passed away, how much she was suffering. But the embodiment of joy, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when he reached over there, automatically from her mind all those griefs went away, and she was expressing that because of tremendous joy. That's why in the beginning I was mentioning the Brahman, which is having the qualities, and when it takes the human form, becomes the avatara, the God's avatara, it's full of joy, knowledge. So obviously that they say it bliss is the extreme joy. obviously all griefs go away. The Sri, Rama and Krishna. A Sri means, always the Hindus, they always use it. In India, there's a tradition. Sri means all best thing. The Lakshmi is also called Sri. So all best thing. So obviously Sri. Rama. What is the meaning of Rama? Ramayati iti Rama. Ramayati means the joy, the happiness. The iti Rama. And Karshayati iti Krishna. He takes away all the sufferings from the hearts of the devotees. Not all people. The people, those who are really devoted to God, from their heart all the sufferings goes away. Karshayati, Akarshayati, he takes away. So these two combined together, Rama and Krishna has taken the human form Ramakrishna. He himself said, he who was Rama, he who was Krishna has now become in this body as Ramakrishna. So obviously the presence of Sri Ramakrishna is full of joy. Whoever used to come to him used to think, of course, if they had the good qualities, otherwise they will never be able to go to God. So that is the reason when our mind is pure, our mind is not thinking about the worldly pleasures, when you go to God, we feel joy. Or otherwise people will go and they will say, oh, these are the pictures and the stones, idols, and it's okay. Now we have visited, let us go to the hotel. So this is the way they always think. But the devotees will feel attracted over there. Apparently it's nothing but the picture is the God's idol, but they will feel attracted. Why? Their mind has become pure. The moment their mind is away from the worldly attractions, the God's that attraction comes over there, reaches over there, and they feel attracted to go to God. And when they go, they get joy. The Rama and Krishna, Ramayati iti Rama and Karshayati iti Krishna, both are present in the Sri Ramakrishna. So this is Rama and Krishna, the Sri Ramakrishna. He is present over there, not giving any sermon. He is not talking anything. He is just present over there. And look at it, the mother who lost her daughter is herself is saying, I don't have any grief. I have no trace of my grief at her death. I was afraid she would not come. Then I thought that if that happened, I should throw into the Ganges all the things I had arranged for his reception and entertainment. I should not speak to him any more. If he visited a place, I should go there, look at him from a distance, and then come away. So this is Urja Bhakti, as Ramakrishna used to say. In this devotion, they feel so much close to God that they feel angry with God too. If the God is not listening to my prayer, then I am not going to talk to God. But at the same time, they are not going away from God. Look at her words. She said, from distance I will go and see. Not that I will not go to God. Sometimes some people, when their prayers are not answered or something happened, when maybe the death of someone very close to them, they feel grieved and they will never ever talk about God or go to any temple or worship, etc. That is a different thing. But here it is nothing like that. She is telling, if he would not have come, I would have thrown all the preparations that I made for him to the Ganga, not that I would have distributed it to any other people, and at the same time I would not have talked to him. That means I am angry, so I have to show it to him, to God, because God is so close to me. The God will understand why that lady is not praying to me, why she is not coming. So God will notice. That's why and from distance I will see, because I love God. Friends, these are the small little things about the devotion. And when we are reading these pages, if we notice, and we can develop these unique, wonderful qualities. Then let me go and tell everybody how happy I am. Let me go and tell Yogin of my good luck. Yogindra, then that another lady was there. They were friends in the same locality. So they used to visit Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna also, the Yogin Ma. So she is telling, let me go and tell her that the Sri Ramakrishna is visiting my home, my house. He is here. Still overwhelmed with joy, she said, a laborer won 100,000 rupee in a lottery. The moment he heard the news, he died of joy. Yes, he really and truly died. I am afraid the same thing is going to happen to me. Please bless me, friends, or else I shall certainly die. Tremendous joy. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna in one place he said, that when your mind is completely free from worldly thoughts, then the thought of God that comes, that is so joyful. Why people, those who practice meditation, when they truly can meditate, the tremendous joy that comes, they always feel attracted to go to meditation. Whenever they will get an opportunity, they like to sit for meditation. Because of the joy, the happiness. They don't need anything outside. Not the movie, not some company, friends, food, nothing. Just closing the eyes and withdrawing the sense organs from the sense objects and going into deeper in the mind and seeing that beautiful light or the divine presence of God within the heart that gives so much of joy. They again and again they want to have that. When we practice meditation, if we don't feel joy, happiness, and also to intensify the meditation, that means something wrong is there. And if we don't get that joy, we won't be able to continue in meditation. So devotee means when they are going to the temple in the beginning, they are going just on faith. Somebody said and they have heard, they have read, so let us go. So they go and they see, and then slowly, when their mind is becoming purified, the word purified means free from the attachment of the attraction of the worldly things. That is this purification. Purification of mind. Mind is thought, and thought, where they will go? The thought goes only to the objects. The Vishaya, they say, when the Vishaya, the objects of the worldly things, Rupa, Rasa, Shabda, Sparsha and Gandha, these are the 5 objects. Rupa, the form, Rasa, the taste, Shabda, the sound, and like that the smell and touch also. So these are the objects when are there. If the mind goes over there, it becomes impure. Why? Then we are not thinking about God, we are thinking about His creation. So God and God's creation. Of course it is God's creation, but it is not God. The God is manifested, God is reflected over there, but it is not God. So we have to accept this, that if I am choosing God's creation, then I will lose God. If I am choosing God Himself, then I have to give up His creation. Both cannot go together. But Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, first you go and have the darshan, the realized God. Then if you want to enjoy this world, God will give it to you. Because it is up to Him. If you say, I like to see how much joy the people have in the world, maybe He will say, okay, you can go and enjoy. So first you have to go to God. That is the source. God's realization is the goal of human life. That's why He said, Otherwise, the fulfillment will never come. Satisfaction will never come. Ultimate satisfaction will never come. Lives after lives, in different forms, in different times, it will go on continuously, and life means most of the time suffering, anxiety. So why? So that is the reason we read the scripture. And this time, in the modern time, the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, in a very easy way, simple way, he is telling us all the gist of all scriptures. And what is that? Love for God is the only way. You can go through jnana, but there also love is necessary. Love to know that consciousness, that truth, that Brahman. And through the path of duality, Dvaita Bhavana, there it is love for God. It is easy because there is an object, and our mind is built in that way. If there is an object, it has a name, it has a quality, we can understand that. So it becomes really very easy that way. So let me go and tell everybody how happy I am. Then he going on doing like that, still overwhelmed. Im was amazed to see the Brahmani's sincere joy and her ecstatic mood. The Master Mahashaya could understand that lady. Apparently, other people may think, oh, she is just doing it, overdoing all these things. It is not like that. But the pure mind will understand another pure mind. Then when we read this, we can understand how the Master Mahashaya, the recorder, Mahendranath Gupta, could understand the pure minds. And what he is doing here, he was about to take the dust off her feet, seeing the love for God, genuine love for God. So naturally, Master Mahashaya was thinking, oh, I can see a pure soul. Let me go and take the blessings. What are you doing? She exclaimed and saluted him. The Brahmani was extremely happy at the sight of the devotees. She said, I am so happy to see you all here. See, the God, at the same time, God's creation also. Who are the devotees? They are also the votaries of God, the lover of God, the worshipper of God. So obviously, to a great extent, their minds are also purified. So obviously, those who are loving God, they will appreciate the devotees also. So sometimes what happens, most of the people, what they made the mistake, they take only one person and they will go on appreciating him, they will follow him, and slowly it becomes a cult. But when it is a philosophy, they understand, then that is a completely different thing. They will be accepting the everything. So the devotees are also, they are accepting. She is in that way. This is a complete picture of a devotee. He loves God, and at the same time, the devotees of God. That is also he loves, she loves. So that is, she is showing over here. The Brahmani was extremely happy at the sight of the devotees. She said, I am so happy to see you all here. I have brought the younger Naren. Without him, who would be there to make us laugh? The Naren, sometimes in the group always there will be some people, they will be making some cutting jokes and they will be making laugh. It's an environment of joy and happiness. When the same type of people, same minded people, those who love God, they come together, they never feel jealousy or hatred with each other, rather they feel joy. Friends, we have to learn this, we have to notice it. Because now in the ashramas, in the places, in the centers, devotees, they come from different places, and walks of life they come, and then there will be small groups, and they will be separating themselves. Among them, they will have criticism of the another group. They won't like to talk to them. That is not good. That is not at all the sign of spiritual progress. The spiritual progress means to everyone, whomever you see, she is a devotee, she is a devotee, and he also loves God, and you feel to have his or her company, you are happy with them. Because you love God, they too love God. There is no question of jealousy. But practically, when you go and see among the devotees, they are giving donations, they are giving time, they are giving their energy, but as because they are not understanding what is swatika bhava, they are not getting the benefit of spirituality. That is unfortunate. So when we are reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, we are reading everything, every line, and we have to understand this, how I should also utilize my time, my energy to develop spirituality. And spirituality means love for God and detachment from the worldly objects. So this way there should not be any jealousy, any hatred, any grabbing the power in the ashrama. I should do everything, I won't allow anybody to do it. That should not be. Again, those things are also expression of ego. Sometimes some people, they get the opportunity to help the ashrama, to serve the ashrama, but they develop that ego, both the monastics and householders, and that is a mistake. If they are doing that, we have to pray for them. Oh, the poor soul, they came over here, but they do not know what is the goal. And as a individually, we should be very much cautious, aware about it. So, Sri Ramakrishna, when Master Masha is giving the whole picture, and we are learning in this way, she was talking like this when her sister came up and said, "Calm down, sister. How can I manage things if you stay here? Can I do it all by myself?" But the Brahmani was overwhelmed with joy. She could not take her eyes from the master and the devotees. It's love for God and love for God's devotees. The Krishna and the Vaishnava, these are the words they use in the Vaishnava, that the path that they follow. The Krishna, the God, and the Vaishnava means his devotees. The Vaishnava means those who love God. And how we will understand they are Vaishnava? They will be humble because they are not having their ego, and not that showing up humbleness, no. It's really humble. They are qualified. They are confident in their own qualities, but at the same time, very humble, very adjustive, very loving, very caring. And that is the way we can understand their mind is also purified. And that proves that those who come to God, their mind becomes purified. Again, what is the purification? Love for God and detachment from the worldly objects. And after a while, she was respectfully took Sri Ramakrishna to another room and offered him sweets and other refreshments. The devotees were entertained on the roof. It was about 8 o'clock in the evening. Sri Ramakrishna was ready to leave. When he came to the door, the Brahmani asked her sister-in-law to salute the master. Next, one of her brothers took the dust of the master's feet. Referring to him, she said, "He is one of my brothers. He is a fool." "No, no," said the master, "they are all good." The blessings of God. There's someone, they are little shy, can't come close to the God out of their own and taking the blessings of the God. But when the Brahmani he is asking them, they are coming and touching the feet of God. Whole family is blessed by the God. The Sri Ramakrishna, the God himself, is giving this certificate. They are all good. A man showed the way with a light. At places it was dark. Sri Ramakrishna stood in front of the cowshed. The devotees gathered around him. Aim saluted the master, who was about to go to the house of Gonu's mother. This is a call that minister's job. The Sri Ramakrishna, he is going on visiting different devotees' houses. Sometimes the jugupsha, there is a word that is jugupsha, not jugupshate. In the Upanishad, we find in the Katha Upanishad, jugupsha means that hatred and all that it is there, and they like to be disassociated from the people. That is called jugupsha in Sanskrit. Because the hatred is there, criticism is there, not likings are also there, and these are the reasons they keep themselves away from the people. They don't like to mix with people. You will find most of the people, they don't like to talk to others, they don't like to visit others, because they are not having that simplicity. Oh, I am somebody, why they have not invited me, why should I go, like that. So they always keep separately. But the children will never do that. Children are very happy, wherever they like to go. Why? Because they are not having this different type of hatreds and dislikings. Any place they will go. That's why they say children are the embodiment of God. As long as the ego is not manifesting in man, they are gods. And when we are grown up, we are having the ego. What is sadhana? What is tapasya? What is spiritual austerity? To remove the ego. Then what will happen? You won't have the jugupsha. So in the Katha Upanishad they say, na jugupshate. They are not keeping themselves separate from others. Sri Ramakrishna is going from home to home, house to house, to the devotees, to encourage them, to bless them, to guide them. At the same time, wherever he is going, other people are also coming, they are also getting the guidances, one or two words, and sometimes his behavior, that inspire people. They will be remembering that. Then more they remember, more their mind become purified. So Sri Ramakrishna is going to Gonu's mother. Usually in our tradition, in our society, they don't like to mention the name of the ladies. In those days, they will never ever mention the name of the girls or the ladies. So when we were children, we were taught, if anybody is asking the name of your mother, you should not say. You should say the name of your father. So that is the tradition of the society. Here also we find the mother is known by the name of her son, the Gonu's mother, Rakhal's mother. So that way, the Gonu's mother, Sri Ramakrishna will be visiting. Sri Ramakrishna was seated in the drawing room of Gonu's mother's house. Master Masha is also present there. It was on the street floor. The room was used by a concert party. Several young men played on their instruments now and then for the pleasure of the master. It was 8:30 in the evening. Moonlight flooded the streets, the houses and the sky. It was the first day after the full moon. The Brahmani, who had also come, was visiting the drawing room of the inner apartments alternately. Every few minutes she would come to the door of the drawing room and look at the master. Some youngsters from the neighborhood also looked at him through the windows. I don't know the Western people will understand it or not, but at least in our country, all the children and some people also, the neighborhood, the small room full with people, they can't, and they don't like to enter there. They're curious to know what is happening, and they will come and from the outside, as that's why Master Masha mentioned, it is on the street. So the people can come, and from the window they will be looking at the children and the sometimes elderly people also. And in the so-called educated and cultured society, that is not good. You are not supposed to look at other men's the room without the permission. But in our country it is very simple, then that's why they don't mind it. Why something is happening in your room and then somebody is visiting and he is famous, so many people are coming, so why not? I also come. I am not entering into the room, but from the window I will see. So this simplicity was there. So these people, there's a neighborhood, they also came. So why I am explaining? Because nowadays in the modern society, in our country also, that these things are not allowed. People think, oh, this is not that civilized way you are behaving. But simplicity is a completely different thing. I was visiting a village in Assam, then they gave me a room and it was having nearly 6 windows, 1 door and 6 windows, and they gave me that room to live over there. And just in the center there was a cot and they asked me to take rest, but how can I? Because all the 6 windows were full with children. They were curiously looking at me and commenting and saying something, and naturally, as if I am inside a room and those people are enjoying, I didn't mind anything, but it was difficult to take rest and sleep. That is always is there. That simplicity and this type of things happen in our country and maybe in many other countries also. So this is what is happening. People are all very eager to see Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and we can understand the electricity and other things were not very, in those days it was only the rich people could afford, but mostly with the kerosene and some other type of lights were there. Moonlit night, so the Master Maharshi was very happy. He could see the roads, streets flooded with the moonlit night. And there in the drawing room, some youngsters from the neighborhood also looked at him through the windows. The people of the locality, young and old, came thronging to see the saint. The younger Naren saw the boys in the street climbing the windows. He said to them, "Hey, why are you here? Get away, go home." But the master said tenderly, "Let them stay." Every now and then he chanted, "Hari Om, Hari Om." So this is the way, the complete picture we can see how Sri Ramakrishna, just by his presence, is slowly entering the thought world of the people. Even the urchins, even the unknown people, even the children, those who were there looking at the incarnation of God unknowingly, they were getting the benefit of that. So that Sri Ramakrishna, that's why he said, "Let them be." And he was chattering the Hari Om, means that purified words that they are listening, that is the mantra. The God himself is uttering the mantra, that the sound, the purified sound, that is making their body and mind purified. Unknowingly they were blessed. So that is called sadhu sangha. When a holy person goes, his presence, his thoughts, his utterances, everything goes and touches and purify the heart of the people. They all feel joy. When they go away from there, when they return home, everyone is very happy. Very unfortunately, 1 or 2 doubting Thomases, they don't like, they are always doubtful. Who is this man? Why he is here? What is his purposes? All that type of thought will be crowded in their minds. They can't get these blessings. The God is sending, God is giving it. But they have closed their minds with doubts. So they don't. Sometimes we will find some of the people, they are coming and meeting Sri Ramakrishna and doubting about his simplicity, his spirituality. They go away without receiving the blessings. The floor of the drawing room was covered with a carpet. The young musicians sat on it and sang. Friends, we also notice that Sri Ramakrishna is everywhere, he is same. When he was visiting Nanda Bo's house, that rich man's house, and when he is visiting this Gonu's mother's houses, the Gonu's mother perhaps rented that particular room to some of the maybe a group. They practice music, they may be hired that, we are not very sure of it. So they used to use that room. So obviously with all the music, the instruments, but Sri Ramakrishna is comfortable there too. The God is comfortable everywhere. If there is love for God is there, faith for God is there, prayer is there, eagerness to see Him and hear from Him is there. So the Brahmani's house, and then he is visiting Gonu's mother, and these people, they will be singing, and Sri Ramakrishna is to enjoy those songs. The song they are singing, O Keshava, bestow thy grace upon thy luckless servants here. These are the songs in those days they used to sing a lot. Some of our Swamis, they collected it and they sang in the same tune they used to sing, and Sri Ramakrishna heard those songs. That is also available. The Sri Ramakrishna loved those songs. Sometimes he sang those songs, and these collections are there. But I don't know exactly. Swami Sarvagananda is a good friend of ours. He also recorded Sri Ramakrishna's songs. Those who are interested, they can inquire. This, O Keshava, bestow thy grace upon thy luckless servants here. O Keshava, who doest delight to roam Vrindavan's glades and groves. It is about the Krishna they are singing, but see, indirectly they are praying to Sri Ramakrishna. Please bestow your blessings on us. Friends, we should stop over here and we will continue the page 824 and after this song in our next Wednesday class.
So, Ashok Chattopadhyay is asking what happened to this Brahmani later on, and then he is also saying that Joginma became a companion of Holy Mother.
Ashok Babu, this moment I won't be able to say. Of course, she didn't. She used to visit Mother, but she didn't get completely dedicated for the service of the Mother or anything. That is not mentioned anywhere, and I don't know about it. Of course, Joginma, we know, as you have mentioned. Thank you.
Ananya Roy is asking, how do I understand whether Thakur or Ma is seeing my devotion? I mean, what will be the symptoms? Another question, what is one thing I can do to increase my inner peace?
It's a very good question. See, you will feel attracted to the Sri Ramakrishna and Ma more and more, and their words, their teachings about them. There's some stories about them, incidents about. So that will show you that Sri Ramakrishna and Ma, you are going close to them. And as you have already read, you must be knowing that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna gave that example. When someone is going to the Ganga, towards the Ganga, the more he reaches close to the Ganga, he will feel the cool breeze. That means you are reaching over close to the Ganga, and when you go over there, all that beauty. Similarly, when we go towards God, we feel joy, happiness, and more attraction towards God. That is the sign that the God or the Thakur and Ma, as you have mentioned, listening to your prayer, so they are attracting you towards them, and you are also getting their blessings by that way. Another question, the second part? How to
What
increase?
is one thing I can do to increase my inner peace?
Oh, prayer, only and only prayer. Talk to Mother, talk to Sri Ramakrishna as your father. As you always share, that you will be sharing that to your the mother, the earthly mother, that this happened, that happened, as the daughters they always do. The same way you talk to the Holy Mother, the Divine Mother, Ma Sharada. Talk to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna as you talk to your father. By that way, you can increase the devotion. And it will be so wonderful solace you will find. But when there is something within your mind, and if you can unload that burden to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna and Ma, this happened, that happened, I am confused, why this? You will find they are listening, and the solutions will also come. And by that way, your devotion will increase. Thank you.
Ananya Roy is also asking, how can I write to you? So we can give the email address.
You can write to me if you write down info@chicagovedanta.org. info at Chicago Vedanta, one word, .org. You can write to me. This is my email address.
VJ has a two-part question. What if we are not jealous, but others are jealous and egotistical towards us? How much effort should we put to correct their misconceptions? Part 1.
That is, the VJ, we are not jealous, that is sufficient. But I cannot rectify the others. The God can. But what I can do, I can rectify myself, and those who are not very friendly and jealous, as you think, pray for them. So, Mother, I am not doing any harm to them, but they are misunderstanding me. Please make their mind friendly towards me. So, that is also a very good prayer, very good prayer. Prayer for those who are not friendly towards you. By that way, you can overcome, and obviously, you will get the blessings of God. Second.
Part 2. What about introverts who enjoy their own company?
Introverts, there's some people, in America, after coming over here, I saw the most of the people, they like to live all alone. They don't like to interfere in others' life, and also not appreciate interference in their own life. That is a different type of social condition. But introvertness, when you are thinking about God, and naturally the expression or the result will be you are loving the God's creation too. The human being and all others are there. That is also the manifestation of God. How we will understand, people will understand, you will understand that you are developing in the spiritual path. The love for each and every one will be there. As just now we read that the Brahmani, that lady, the widowed mother who lost her daughter, she was feeling joy in the company of the devotees, feeling not only joy, concern for them too, how to arrange for the seats for them, food for them, all this. So that shows that we are developing spirituality within ourselves. Only not talking anyone and not mixing with others. It may be jugupsha, the Sanskrit word that I said. The jugupsha means they don't like to mix with others. So we should not have those bad qualities. And thank you.
Shomin Das has a two-part question. First part is, does God manifest love on sinners? Part 1.
manifest love as sinners,
On sinners.
on sinners. See, for God there is no difference, sinner or not. Only thing, if we love God, that means we are not attracted by the worldly objects. That is sin. So naturally, I will be pulled towards God. But suppose I love these worldly objects, also I can get the blessings of God. That in the Chandi, if you see, the two people, one was king and another was a businessman. They prayed to the Divine Mother, and Mother, when manifested before them, asked that they can ask for the prayer, and she gave the boon. One, the king wanted to be a bigger, powerful king, because for the worldly, because he had that attraction to become a king, a ruler, a hero. So she said, okay. But the other, the businessman, he said, the Vaishya, he said, no, it is enough. I don't want anything of this world. I like to go to your the abode. She said, okay. It depends on our prayer, our wishes, our desires. God is all right.
Part 2. How do I understand that God is loving me as I am suffering miserably and I am losing faith?
Oh, see, that is a challenging thing. You have to think in a different way. I am suffering because of my karma phala. But God is always there waiting for me to go to her lap. So God is always like my father, my mother. I did some mistake, so I am suffering. I should not blame God. I should not lose faith in God. Rather, you should more intently cling to God, pray to God. I did a mistake, oh mother, oh father, please forgive me. And now this type of punishment is too much for me. You will find that is also very effective. If you admit the fault, something we did in our past lives, so in this life these things are happening, so I have to pray to God, and without God there is no one else. So obviously if we are praying intently, that is the Purushakara, that is the only power that we are having, that we can exert, and that is the prayer to God. I am suffering, maybe because of something that I did in the past, I don't know. But I am telling you, I won't repeat it. I am not going to harm anyone. I am not going to do any wrong things in this life. So please bless me, please help me. And this type of suffering, too much for me. I cannot bear it. You will find that suffering will be reduced, but do not lose the faith in the existence of God. Never ever. So that will help. Thank you.
There is one user on YouTube, his user ID is PM. He is asking, my understanding is combination of japa, meditation and spiritual rituals all lead to the growth in the spiritual path. Is there any one of these best method for sadhana?
So of course, that those you have said, that is of course, these three combined, there's the bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, karma yoga, as Swami Vivekananda said, the dhyana yoga, all the four combined, if we regularly do, then slowly, two things happen. The attraction for the spiritual life and detachment for the worldly attractions. So these two, it goes on happening. It's very good practices. But at the same time, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, when someone says how to realize God, he said, can you cry? In Bengali he said, Kadde paro? Kada means cry. Can you cry for God? People are crying for so many things. Male and the female, they're all the time, they're crying for so many things. But no one is crying for God. That means genuine faith, the God is there, He is listening to my prayer, and you are truly eager to go to God. Like a little baby, without the mother's touch, she is not feeling comfortable, she will be going on crying. And the mother will ultimately come wherever she will come and take the baby on her lap, and then only the baby will be all right. So similarly, if we can cry like that, that is also a very good path. Thank you.
Andrew is asking, is the black and red Kali which Sri Ramakrishna worshipped unique to Dakshineshwar? On the internet, I find Kali is usually depicted as blue.
That is, different type of colors are there, but the Sri Ramakrishna worshipped that Dakshina Murti, that is the benign face of the mother. So, suppose as an example we can say the mother is the ruler, she is the queen of a country. As a ruler she is different, as a wife she is different, as a sister she is different, as an administrator she is different, as a mother she is different. The same lady in different situation, different type of ways her behavior will be. So obviously when the mother is punishing, that's called Shashana Kali, the punishing the people, giving their karma phala, that's a Shashana Kali. Chinnamasta and all different. But if you worship the Dakshineshwar Kali, and Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna plays that terrible power of God, who is doing the creation and sustaining and also dissolution, all power, that is the Kali as mother. So instead of other thing, if you truly like to worship Kali and get the blessings of the power of God, it is better to worship the Kali, the statue of Dakshineshwar. It is a very happy mother, benign mother, Dakshina Kali. That is my suggestions. Thank you. Thank you, friends. Thank you for your all questions. And I am happy that you were really reading it, understanding it, and trying to realize God. May the blessings of God be always with us. Let us now pray and then conclude. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidhyam tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpana Mastu.